Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 6, Tsumihoroboshi. So last time we saw Rena, I guess, being much more paranoid, right? Taking money from her father to buy food to put on her secret hideout so she can hide there. And then yeah, her anxiety levels also increasing a lot. And a lot of misunderstandings as well, especially with the Kasai one, right? Kasai and the cops, the Uishi and Kuma-chan thinking that Kasai and the Sonozaki Corps want to do something really bad, right? To Rena, but in reality it was not that. It was pretty hilarious, honestly. So let us continue. Let's see what happens today. End of chapter 10. So I guess we're very close to finishing this chapter. Even if I turned on the light in my hideout, nobody would see it because of the piles of abandoned cars in the way. While I am aware of that, I decided not to turn it on just in case. It's a bit scary to hide in this quiet place alone in the dark, holding my breath. I'd have to keep myself busy with something. Can you even sleep though? You're being super paranoid, right? And then you're in the dump like this, right? It's hard to sleep for sure. But my brain won't work properly. I don't even have the energy to think about what to do from now on. However, I don't have the courage to lie down or to sleep and regain my strength either. Every time I heard or thought I heard a suspicious sound, I'd gasp and stare into the dark. That's all I did all night. Oishi believes that the Sonozaki family was behind the conspiracy, but he can't do much without solid evidence. For that, he has to locate the facility where they're doing research on the parasite. But we have no idea where it is. I think that the Irie clinic is still the most likely site, but I have no credible evidence. Really, I don't think they do research in a place so obvious. Even I could guess it. They might be using one of those bomb shelters that was built during the war as some kind of secret underground research center. Now that I come to think about it, I remember a secret building nobody is allowed into on the premises of the Furude Shrine. Yeah, this place, right? I think it's called the Ritual Storehouse. According to Mio-san's research, the Furude Shrine is a center of the local worship of Oyashiro-sama. The priest keeps tools for ceremonies in the Ritual Storehouse. One of the ceremonies is the bizarre festival Watanigashi, and so the shrine storage must be something very sacred. If I remember right, Watanagashi was also a medical ritual designed to vaccinate and immunize people against all the too strong parasites. That means the tools they used for Watanagashi were medical ones. If my guess is right, the ritual storehouse is the most sacred place in the village, as well as the most appropriate building to use for medical supplies or purposes. It's suspicious. There might be a secret center in the ritual storehouse. Damn it. The police should be performing a raid on the ritual storehouse, not the Irie clinic. Why didn't I think of that when I was talking with Oishi-san on the phone earlier? I hope Oishi realizes this too. I should go back to the phone booth and tell him about the ritual storehouse? Or should I? But when I thought that, I heard a car coming closer, so I held my breath. It's not normal for a car to come here this late at night. I thought about many possible scenarios, which made me nervous. After a while, I saw the headlights of the car near the former dam construction office. The car must have passed by me and gone to the office. But it's a deserted, empty office building. There's nothing there. It's not a place where people would visit this late at night. While I was staring in the dark, the engine of the car stopped and its headlights were turned off, so I could see two flashlights flickering in the darkness. The lights moved into the office building. They must think I'm hiding there. I held my breath and kept watch on their movements. I can't tell who they are, but I bet they're pawns of the Sonozaki family. They know that I ran away from home. They must be looking for me everywhere in the village. Though I needed to conceal my breath, my face started feeling itchy and I had an urge to stretch my legs. My own body infuriated me. The humidity made me sweat all over, so the back of my knees and my neck had been itchy for quite a while. Scratching would make an unbelievably loud noise, so I decided not to scratch anymore. It usually sorry. Usually doesn't make any noise when I just scratch some mosquito bites. I'm probably just being nervous and overreacting. There's quite the distance between me and them, and I'm in the dark, holding my breath. They wouldn't notice it even if I sneeze, let alone scratch myself. But I didn't want to make any noise at all, so I tried to forget the itchiness, but after all that, I ended up scratching everything everywhere like mad. I have to live in hiding like this for a while, so I don't know how long I can go on when I'm so nervous on just the first night. I need to toughen up more so I can remain placid even in a situation like this. I forced myself to relax, scratched my neck without hesitation, and tried to cope with the sticky sweat all over my body. I started getting hungry. My stomach growled. That's a good sign though, since it means I'm starting to relax. I can't eat yet though, so it'd make a lot of noise. I decided to wait until they finished looking for me and went away. Go away. Go away. I can't eat it if you go away. It seemed like the intention I was sending out bore fruit. They had stopped looking around the building. However, I must have concentrated my thoughts too strongly. They were pointing their flashlights in my direction now. Did they notice me? No. Not only that, they're walking towards me. I made my body as small as possible, hid under the blanket, and listened for their footsteps as carefully as I could. All the while, I heard their footsteps coming closer and closer. Since the footsteps are coming straight towards me, they must already know where I am. I think it's scary. But there's no way they already know where I am. If they did, they wouldn't have wasted their time looking for me around the office building. And they wouldn't walk as slowly as I did, or they did. It's just a coincidence that they're walking in this direction. Since I'm hiding under the blanket, I can't see who they are. I don't know where they're shining their flashlights, so I can't stick my head out from the window to see who they are either. I just have to stay motionless like a rock until I sense they're gone. They stopped when they came near my hideout. I could hear the conversation.
いねえだろ。ぐるっと回ってみるが、そっちを見てくれ。
So I could tell by the sound of their footsteps that they went separate ways and that each of them is walking around the piles of trash separately. I made this hideout out of an abandoned car, so I just redecorated it. So on the outside, it still looks like nothing other than an abandoned car. But once you look inside, you can instantly tell it's more than that. So if they look inside, I'm done for. It's obvious that they're looking for me. Are they a Sonozaki core attack unit? If they find me, I'll be killed for sure. I know all too well that this place is perfect for murdering people. I killed 2 people here myself. If I can do it, it'll be no problem for them, because they're real professional killers. Even so, there's nothing I can do right now. I just have to pray that they'll leave soon. At the time, I heard a slight beeping sound.
あつしです。感度良好。はい。ゴグラ?
Oh yeah, Mion said they're gonna say that she's on Gogora, right? Rena is in Gogora.
はい。了解です。
どうした？
竜宮レナはゴグラらしい。目撃情報があったそうだ。
おいおい、お手上げだぜ。どうするんだよ。
とにかく是が非でもひっ捕まえて連れてこいって旦那の命令だ。たとえ行ったのが札幌だろうと博多だろうと追っかけるしかねえだろ。
無理だぜ。見つかるわけねえ。それでも探さなきゃなんねえのか。
旦那は竜宮レナの持つ高野美代のスクラップ帳ってのを欲しがってる。あんだけの剣幕になるんだから相当のもんだろうぜ。
Did they actually say this on Miyo Takano's scrapbooks? Or is Rena just imagining this?
で、俺たちはどうするんだよ。
竜宮家前に貼り付けだけ残して、他は引き上げだそうだ。戻って麦茶でも飲もうぜ。
I heard her footsteps going further and then I didn't hear them anymore. After a while, I heard the engine of their car starting. I finally got out from under the blanket and looked outside the window. The car made a U-turn and it drove away. The sound of the engine faded away into the darkness. I heaved a sigh of relief. I scratched at all of my itchy mosquito bites, wiped the sticky sweat on my face and neck, and finally allowed myself to cough. I heard their conversation clearly. They're the pawns of the Sonozaki Corps without a doubt. It matches with what Oishi told me. And they said something very important. They clearly said that they're after the scrapbooks. Up until now, I'd only assumed that they were chasing after me because I had Mio-san's scrapbooks. I could have forced myself to believe that it was just my assumption. But they said it loud and clear. We need to find the Rena Ryugu. She has Mio Takano's scrapbooks. Okay, that's what they said. They also said that they're keeping watch on my house. I'm not surprised. That's exactly what I would do if I were them. I can't go back to my house anymore. It's out of the question. But in fact, they said something way more important than any of that. They said Rena Ryugu was seen in Gogura. If I was in a normal situation, I'd probably think that somebody saw a lookalike and I'd laughed out loud. But this situation is different now. Mio-san was dead, but she was at the festival. But I was here in Gogura. Mio-san wrote about it in her scrapbooks and I didn't want to believe it. They're coming closer to me and I don't mean the Sonozaki family. Wait, what? I'm here but I was in Gogura. What did she write, by the way? Okay. Something beyond common sense is about to happen. So she's thinking something is there and then she's also here, right? So she's thinking maybe like they're like doppelgangers or something like that. Should I fight or should I run? I don't even know what I should do. I feel like I'm rooted to the spot with fear. Am I about to be eaten? No, no, no. I don't want to be eaten alive. I want to run away if I can't win. If I can't run, I want to fight. I'm going to be happy, I know I am. I'm not going to sit pretty and let them get me. But the enemy Mio-san foretold of in the scrapbooks is coming closer to me and it's starting to eat me up. I'm in the garbage dump alone. If I disappeared right now without anybody knowing it, the person who was in Gogura would replace me and start living my life. See, she's thinking like there's another person, doppelganger or something like that. Nobody would notice the change. My father wouldn't notice it, my friends wouldn't notice it. It would replace me without having anyone notice it. Wait, many people close to me might have been replaced already. Oh my god. That's right, the Sonozaki family is plotting bioterrorism, but that's only part of what they're planning. Mice possessed by them don't get scared of cats. As a result, they don't run away. They'll be eaten by cats, then they can move into their cats' bodies. Mice are only used by them for that purpose. It's not that they lose their fear of the cats in order to help them achieve their purpose. The same goes with the Sonozaki family. They think they're doing things by their own will, but they're just helping them without realizing it. That's exactly how they lived since long ago, being the parasite. We're nothing but a bunch of mice to them. Most mice are stupid, so they don't even notice their existence. They help them to achieve their purpose, thinking they're living their lives by their own will. But very rarely a mouse with wits is born. This mouse notices that he's being used, and he also notices their existence. But nobody believes him, so it's not a big deal. He starts thinking that it was his mistake and he gets swallowed by them. Eventually he disappears. But even more rarely, a mouse appears from nowhere, notices their existence, and objectively proves it. The mouse was Mio-san. To them, this mouse was a rare and a very dangerous existence. That's why they resorted to unbelievably bold and violent methods to try and eliminate that mouse when it appeared. But surprisingly, we knew about those measures. But the stupid mice don't believe it. They don't notice that they are forcing them to not believe it and that they are helping them in the end. They killed Mio-san. And they tried to replace her. But they made a mistake. We found the real corpse of Mio-san. That's why they failed to replace her. She's thinking that the burned body, right? Because yeah, the burned body that they found was 24 hours old, right? So she died before the Watanagashi festival. So she's thinking the one that is burned is Mio, right? Mio, and then the one that showed up in the Watanagashi festival is, let's say, the parasite, right? For example. But I think there's more to this. I think Mio plotted this for sure, right? She pretended, who knows, but hopefully we find out soon. But I guess it's not gonna be in this chapter. I doubt it, because yeah, we have this problem with Rena here, right? So maybe they maybe not say it here, but I hope so. I hope they do though. They'll try to kill me and replace me too, or they'll replace my friends in order to get close to me. They look just like real people, but they're totally different inside. They're an abnormal existence that's beyond our imagination. I know they'll appear. They're already here. It appeared the day after Mio-san died. And it appeared in Gogora tonight. They'll keep coming. They're openly after me now. They'll keep coming and they'll keep coming. Mion was the one who said Gogora. That's why those guys went there. Right then I heard somebody coming down the slope. This is Keiichi, right? Keiichi went there. I concealed my presence again and I looked at the direction where the footsteps were coming from. I could see one of the flashlights. It looked like there was only one person. Who is it? This late at night. Each shadow is very small. I can tell it's an adult. I felt a chill running through my body. It shined the flashlight toward my hideout and its footsteps were coming straight towards me. It's different from the other guys earlier. I can tell by the sound of the footsteps that it knows I'm hiding here for sure. No, it must just be coincidence. I should just conceal myself again. I can make it through this again. I made it through last time. I need to hide and I need to hide. I pulled a blanket over myself, made myself as small as possible, and kept telling myself that I was a stone. But the footsteps kept coming closer and closer. And it knocked on the door of my hideout. I broke out in a nervous sweat. Not wanting to believe the sound I heard was a knock, my mind went completely blank. But it knocked on the door again. Keiichi. I could feel a light shining on the blanket. It might be shining the flashlight on me. But I still held back my fear. As long as I don't move, it can't put a finger on me. So I kept telling myself that, as if I was casting a spell, I tried not to shake in fear. It is a problem though. She might accidentally kill Keiichi here. It laughed. Wait, what? So that was Rena? It laughed at me because I thought I was still hiding perfectly. But I still tried. Because if I got out of the blanket...
何に怯えてるの
Wait, what? I drew off the blanket and saw the owner of the voice. Oh, it was Rika. Okay, it was Rika. The older Rika voice, yes. It is Rika-chan. And she's gonna think that this is a doppelganger because of the voice, right? Now, why is she here? Why did she come here to see me? I don't understand why she came all the way here alone this late at night. I realized all of a sudden, she looks just like Rika-chan on the outside, but she's not her. It is just copying her appearance. It came to Mio-san, to me, and to Rika-chan now. Why is Rika here? I decided to talk aggressively on purpose in order to work up courage before my fear crushed me down.
リカちゃんかなみー他の誰に見えるのですか
Like, look at this. She talks very serious earlier, and now she talks her normal voice. It answers just like Rika-chan, I know. But I know it's not Rika-chan. Rika-chan wouldn't come to a place like this so late at night.
わかるよリカちゃんじゃないんでしょおあいにくだけど私の目はごまかせないよ外見がリカちゃんであってもあんたはリカちゃんじゃない私の友達のフルでリカじゃない何者
Rika looked stunned for a while. She looks as if she didn't understand what I was talking about. But she pretended like that for too long. If she really didn't know what I was talking about, she wouldn't be able to stand the silence for this long, but she kept quiet. And she finally showed her true character. It laughed. It laughed at me because I figured out something that was almost impossible to figure out, that it was not Rika.
あんた誰
It didn't answer my questions. It kept laughing for a while. And then it looked straight into my eyes in a way Rika-chan never did before and said this.
私もこの世に生きて長いけど私をリカじゃないと見破ったやつは初めてよあなたは勘がいい人だと初対面から思ってたけど大したものね
She clearly spoke to me the things that I was the most afraid of. I was completely shocked. It's like she told me everything that could possibly scare me. I didn't want to hear any of this. It is something I can't possibly twist in a way I can't comprehend.
でもあえてリカだと名乗っておくわ私もリカを自分の呼び名だと思ってかなり長いしねへえ長いってどれくらいに大したことはないわほんの100年程度よ
100 years. Okay. Okay, I think this is actually real right now.
何を言ってんのあんた
I'm contradicting myself. I know the person who's standing in front of me isn't Rika, but at the same time I deny its existence. As long as humans hold this kind of emotion, they can never accept unknown existence. In other words, you can never accept them.
怯えなくていいわあなたは社内私は社外
互いに相手に物騒なことをするのは簡単じゃない。お互いに都合のいい距離だと思うけど、私が何百年生きていようとも、フルでリカは所詮小さな子供だもの。あなたに腕力で勝てると思ってないわ。むしろ逆上したあなたに飛びかかられないか不安なのはこっちの方なんだから。
I realized that this creepy thing that looks just like Rika was only here to talk to me. I felt my tension fade away a little bit. But still, I don't know what she wants to talk about at a place like this so late at night. I'm like a fish on a cutting board. And there's nothing I can do other than wait and see what's going to happen. I waited for it, she keeps calling it it, to make a move for a while and then it opened its mouth again.
あなたは何かに怯えている。それは正解。
It uses sarcasm. Rika-chan's cute face looked uglier than ever when it smiled. I held back my fear and I tried to reply firmly.
ええ。おかげさまで。
そう。何に怯えているの？
あんたらが一番よくわかっているくせに。
It told me earlier that we were safe from each other because one was in the car and the other one was standing outside. But it's obvious that I'm the one who's being driven into a corner. While I'm at it or talking to it, I could be surrounded by its minions. I got scared and tried to listen to the sounds of my surroundings carefully.
怖がらないで。私はあなたを助けに来たんだから。
助けに？へえ、どうやってかな？
あなたはね、ちょっとしたお薬で楽になるのよ。私はその薬を持ってきたと言ったら関心がある？
薬？
It puts its hands in its pockets and it took out a small case. It opened the case and showed me what was inside. What was in there made me gasp in surprise.
注射器！
A syringe yet again, okay. It's not normal for a person to carry around a syringe. I have no idea what's going on. But what Rika-chan is holding in her hand is a syringe. There's no way I can twist that fact.
そう。あなたを楽にしてくれる注射よ。
楽になれるって？私には分かってる。それでしょ？富武さんを殺した薬物の正体は原子の力を持った寄生虫。宇治脇病を再現させる恐ろしい注射。
富武の注射はね。でもこれは違うわよ。本当よ。
It giggled. It isn't the giggling that scares me. I'm scared that it admitted the cause of Tomitaki-san's death so easily. And it also admitted the direct cause of the maggot disease that Tomitaki-san died from.
私にもあの死に方をさせるつもりなんでしょ。そしてゴグラに現れたレナが私に入れ替わって一件落着。そういう魂胆なんでしょ。誰がそんな注射をするもんか。
まあ 嫌がるとは思った。明らかに怪しいしね。
分かってるじゃないの。ならどうするの？富武さんみたいに集団で襲って無理やり注射でもするの？
Tominaki-san's autopsy report said that he had bruises on his body that proved that he was fighting against several people right before he died. That means that they must have ganged up on him, given him the shot against his own will.
無理に襲って注射したいけど、あまりうまくいった試しはないわね。だから、無理やりってのはもう諦めてるわ。だから、あなたの自由意志に任せることにする。
ふざけないで！そんな薄気味悪い注射、誰が使うものか！
私もそのあたりは悩んだわ。どうなだめすかせばあなたに注射できるかをね。強引にも無理だし、理解も得られないし。なら結局、私はあなたの判断に任せるほかないってこと。
そんなのは聞くまでもない。誰がそんな見えすいた罠にかかるか。
まあ、想定通りの反応よ。どうせ期待してなかったし。
It heaved a sigh, made a gesture as if it is mocking me, and smiled bitterly. It looked as if it was saying that I'm a lower animal that can't understand it's being given a chance for salvation. I kind of want to say I'll take that shot on a dare, but I know that's exactly what it is intending to do.
とっとと帰ってお前の仲間に注射には失敗したと伝えるがいい。私は負けない。最後まで徹底的に抗ってやる。そして 1% にも満たないかもしれない勝機をつかんで、必ずや貴様らを打ち滅ぼしてやるから。
そう。ならばせいぜい頑張りなさいな。どうせもうすぐ滅ぶ世界だしね。
滅ぶ？
あなたには関係のないことよ。井戸の中のカエルが井戸の外なんかに興味を持っても仕方ないでしょ。
At this stage of the game, it said something very dubious. I tried hard to understand what this horrifying creature was trying to say.
私をこれからどうするつもりなの？
私はどうもしないわ。好きにすればいい。
It's almost too easy. As far as I know, do whatever you want means ignoring or release when your enemy says it to you. At the very least, it isn't a bad thing. Or does it have another meaning? In that way, I overinterpreted the meaning of the sentence, but then it said it again.
あなたの好きなように過ごせばいい。このリュウグウレナにはもう興味ない。次のリュウグウレナとうまくやれるようにするわ。せめて次のリュウグウレナは変に勘が良くないことを祈るだけよ。
I was scared of it. I'd be scared of a judge handing down a death sentence.
私も昔は小さな狂いが生じるたびに直そうと奔走したものだけど。
I used to try really hard to fix things every time a little problem occurred.
途中からね、疲れてきちゃったの。
Okay.
このひなみ沢にもう興味ない。次のひなみ沢を探しに行くことにするわ。でもあなたにはこのひなみ沢しかない。だから せいぜい頑張っていきなさいな。
It was telling me scared things one after the other. This was obviously a warning of Hinamizawa's destruction. It means the climax is coming soon. They have already prepared another Rena. When I lose to this fate, they're going to replace me with the Rena as if nothing had happened. Ooh. What humans are most afraid of is for their lives to lose all value. Then I'm thinking of this, man. What did you say again? This one. No, Rika. Yeah. Like she said she was tired, right? She got tired of this. Okay, let's talk about this later. Your life becomes worthless when you're told that you have a replacement. It's like an indirect death sentence. It closed the syringe case and put it back into its pocket. It turned around and started climbing up the slope. At the top of it, it looked back and spoke with us without as much as an evil smile.
じゃあね。さよなら。このリュウグウレナ。次のリュウグウレナでは仲良くしてね。ほとんどの場合は仲良くできてるんだから。
次のリュウグウレナなど許すものか。私は私だ。たった一人だ。お前らの思い通りにはならない。絶対に。絶対に。
I wonder if my scream was reaching it. It looked at me coldly. It looked at me as if I was just an image of the past on a TV screen.
たまにはこういう会話も面白いか。
Then laughter gradually disappeared into the darkness. It disappeared into the darkness as well. I was the only one left here. I am forsaken and they don't care if I disappear. They told me I should struggle as much as I want because it doesn't matter anyway. They already have a replacement. They don't need me in their Hinamizawa anymore because my intuition is too sharp. When I realized that, I noticed that this garbage dump is a perfect grave for me. Then I realized that this place wouldn't work as a hideout anymore. I'd better start packing and move somewhere else. It told me to struggle as much as I want. I'm going to do just that. Damn it. I have to get ready to move out of here. I'm going to put everything back into my backpack. I have to leave here as soon as possible. The light of the flashlight wasn't enough to see by, so I turned the table lamp on. The light made things show up very clearly. When I reached my backpack, I realized something and gasped in surprise. The palm of my hand was covered with an eerie liquid. I thought it wiped off my sticky sweat earlier, but it wasn't my sweat. Then where did this blood? Okay, blood. I realized it right away. I was scratching the mosquito bites on my neck earlier and it scratched them until it bled. Ugh, she didn't even realize that. When I noticed that, I remembered the sensation, the mixture of pain and the itchiness. I felt something moving near the wound on my neck, so I scratched it again to get rid of whatever it was. My hand got sticky and wet with blood again. I can't see what the things are because I don't have a mirror, but I know. They're already spreading throughout my entire body, causing the itchiness on my arms and back of my knees. If I never experienced this before, I think I got bitten by a bad bug or something. But unfortunately, I already know what's causing this itchiness.
なんで？どうして？
I said it with hatred. Why now and why here? It's a maggot disease without a doubt. If I cut the veins on my arms, the dusky red gross things would flow out. But it's impossible. I didn't get any suspicious shots. But it doesn't have to be a shot. They might have put the drug in my food and I might have eaten it without noticing. I don't think they put it in the food at my house, but I used to share lunch with my friends at school. They might have put it in the lunches. That Rika who visited me just earlier was shining the flashlight on me. So she knew that I was scratching my neck so hard it bled. Nevertheless, she acted like there was nothing wrong and she told me that I wouldn't last long. Now I know why she was laughing at me in a sarcastic way. She knew that I wouldn't have much time left. It itches very badly, but I can't scratch. The more I scratch, the itchier it gets, and I'm not going to do the same thing Tomitake-san did. Damn it. The itchiness might not be temporary. It might actually get worse. I don't know if it's going to be or it's going to stop soon or if it's going to last until I die from it. I don't know anything anymore. I just have to endure the itchiness. I wiped the blood on my neck with a towel, clenched my teeth and tried to erase the desire to scratch my neck. The wound was throbbing. I wanted to scratch it so badly, but I couldn't do that. I fought back the desire, biting the end of the towel. Okay, I scratched the other parts of my body really hard in order to forget about the itchiness on my neck, but it didn't really work. I just prayed for the itchiness to go away, closed my eyes, and fought back the desire. That seemed to be the best way. I let my mind go blank, breathing hard. For a while, I felt like the itchiness got a little bit better. I took a deep breath and immediately started panicking. Staying here is more dangerous than the itchiness. I have to leave here as soon as possible. I felt it while packing my stuff. I felt the end coming closer, the end that Rika told me about earlier. I assumed I could live until the end, but I might have been wrong. I might follow the same path Tomitake-san took. Way before the end comes. I was sweating like crazy and it felt so nasty. I know. I know it's not sweat, but I'm going to think that it's sweat for now. I wiped my neck with the towel and hurried to leave. Jesus Christ. This is very interesting. Not gonna lie. Okay, let's take a break here. Let's talk about, but yeah, this is very, very interesting though. The one with Rika-chan, right? Like she said, she was like 100 years old, right? Something like that. So I'm thinking that Rika-chan, that's why she sounds older. That is actually Rika-chan, right? But she's lived for 100 years. Like I think she keeps going back to the same. Yeah, something like this, right? So when she dies, I suppose. Or I guess when the Hinamizawa ends, for example, a chapter ends, right? A story ends. Like, it repeats. But for Rika-chan, she remembers all of it. Remember when Keiichi was saying earlier that he kind of remembers a different world, right? The Higurashi world. So for Keiichi, he just remembers just a little bit, right? Kind of like a dream that you remember. Something like that. But for Rika-chan, she probably fully remembers all of it, right? Everything that's been happening, she fully remembers it. That's why her voice is kind of old sometimes, and that's why she's probably drinking. It's because she's actually old. Yes. She just keeps going back to her body like this, the younger Rika, right? But her mind is much more older, right? So this is very interesting, right? This is the supernatural thing I was talking about. If it's correct, I mean, if it's correct. So I guess this thing, or this is Rika for sure now. And then the one she said, the Hanyu, might be the Hanyu that she was talking about, right? There was, remember that tips we had earlier in this chapter? When she was drinking, right? She said the annoying one, maybe that is Hanyu. She was calling to it. And when, chapter 5, when she was fighting with Shion, right? She called, say, Hanyu. So maybe she was calling to it because she was gonna die again. Right? It kind of, yeah, it makes sense now. This is really good, yeah. I like that how she went through, and she said that I'm not interested in this Hinamizawa anymore, and it's gonna end anyway, right? She said that. So yeah, it's gonna pretty much restart again after this story. Dude, I can't wait to learn more of this. I want to learn more of this. Come on. Like, this chapter has a lot. We had a lot of answers in Miyakashi, right? But for this chapter, it's just insane the amount of things they're telling us, right? This is really good. So yes, we're gonna continue this and do more of Higurashi When They Cry, the 6th chapter, Tsumihoroboshi, in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.